And I keep hearing that over and over
But
again.
let me challenge the people out there. But if you get mad because the police shot and killed somebody, and go back home, suck on a 40 ounce, and smoke you a damn joint and sit on the porch and talk like you would have did something if they did something to you. Just forget it. Just keep your mouth shut if you ain't gonna do nothing about it. But if you want to do something about it, start a movement against your racist prosecutor and your racist judge.
Man, do y'all hear that? It's time for us to raise the bar in Black America. It's time for us to stop operating on just pure anger and emotion and start using our minds and our mental, our emotional, our spiritual, and most important, our unified and collective capacity to change this madness that we are currently living in and living through during these present times.
And before I go on to government, what is this thing they call the decree? This the government chastising the government. What's this decree they had?
Dissent decree?
Dissent decree.
Okay.
That ain't worth a damn. So forget about it.
And why is that?
It ain't worth a damn because, man, look, how can I go and employ your cousin, to jump on you because you mess with me? Come on, man, let's get some. How can I go and get your cousin and say, look, jump on Fred because Fred was messing with me? Your cousin ain't gonna do it.
And so is that what a dissent decree does?
All it is. It ain't no deeper than that. It ain't no deeper than that. Anybody tell you it is, they lying. And then sometimes these old preachers and these old social service people try to tell you, well, let's wait for the dissent decree. Dissent decree ain't what the damn. Let me move on to government.
I do agree with that because all we do is just like kind of wait in just inactivity. We just wait like we're stalled, like we're in a timeout. So yeah, I do agree. Waiting on something, a savior especially, is not going to happen. We have to save ourselves.
Let me go into government a minute. This is because we're dealing today with business. We talk a little bit about business. Let's talk about government.
Okay.
To government, there's 7 levels. That's precinct. That's ward. That's county. That's state. That's national. Precinct, ward, city, county, state, nation, and United Nations. 7 levels of government. And each level of government is precipitated by the other. What I mean by that? If I'm a precinct person, you're a precinct person, and we argue, who do we go? We go to our councilman, and he resolved the issue. 2 councilmen arguing, they go to their mayor, and he resolved it. 2 mayors arguing, they go to their county commissioner, and he resolved it. 2 counties arguing, they go to the state, and the state resolve the issue. 2 states arguing, they go to the nation, and the nation resolve it. And when nations argue, they go to the United Nations. So that's how that gets broken down. But the most powerful form of government in all of this is the precinct. No matter where you live or where you go, you got to go back.
That's where it started.
You got to go back to your precinct to vote. What did that tell you? That tells you that all the energy start from your precinct.
Wow, that's a good point.
Because everybody had to go back to their precinct and vote. All the energy start. If you don't put a seed, if a seed don't go in the ground, it ain't gonna grow. Once a seed go into the ground and water hit it, you can't stop it from growing.
And that's one of the things that we don't do as Black people. We don't examine the root and the foundation and the genesis and the beginning of things. We want the finished product. We want the instant gratification. We want things to be solved without our involvement. Let the system do it for us. Well, that's why we're in the mess that we're in, because we've allowed the system to do for us what we should have been doing for ourselves.
And then to get to glory, what do they mean get to glory? I'm more happy sitting here with you, because you're a precinct person. You're the most powerful person in this whole union than I would be with sitting here with a lying senator or a lying congressman. You the man. The congressman ain't the, you the most powerful. But let me show you why. You can raise as much money in your precinct to develop your precinct, and they can't do nothing to you. They ain't tell you that. They didn't tell you that when black grant money come down, it's supposed to be split up in 17 different things. Each precinct should get their share. So what they did, they tricked. Let me show you what they did. So the councilman said, look, I'm going to become councilman and the ward leader.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the money, when it come down, got to come through two hands. The councilman and the ward leader. And between the two, they divvy who they going to give money to. If you don't get along with the councilman, your ward may not get nothing. That ain't right. But if the money come down and it gets split equally between all the precincts, then every precinct can define for itself what it uses money on, rather than the councilman using it, paying his women on the side. Damn, come on, man. How sleep can we be? How sleep can we be? Damn, Rip Van Winkle went to sleep when King George was king of England. When he woke up, George Washington was president. He slept through a revolution. Black folks now are sleeping through a revolution.
Wow.
And now when they come with the coronavirus, it ain't hard to tell people to stay in their house. It ain't hard to tell people. Look, man, if Trump walk outside and he got all these people he know about the virus, he walk outside without a mask. But yet he got all us wearing a mask. But he go anywhere without a damn mask. Don't you know that's a game? Don't you know it's game?
I am so glad all of you tuned in. And any questions, comments, whatever that you have to convey, please do so. And we have been talking about precinct government, and especially how it relates in this day and age with all of the issues that we have. And so what I would like to have done the next time that we have this discussion is, like, you have that visual breakdown, that chart of what precinct government is supposed to look like. Well, I would like for us to have one that shows what the haphazard current precinct government of East Cleveland looks like now.
I could quickly show you something.
Okay.
I could quickly show you something. And I'll go through it real fast, okay?
Okay. Is it over there, laying on the thing over there?
I have some little charts like this.
Oh, well, here's a couple pieces of paper right here. I don't know if this is.
Are they on the charts? Oh, here they are.
Okay.
Okay, here they are. Very quickly, I'll go through this.
Okay. Well, if you could hold it, you could actually. I'm going to try to get a closer view of that.
All right, let me start with this one.
Okay. Once again, thank you all for tuning in.
Okay. Basically, you got to talk about the condition of the man. Basically, people are basically dead. Can you see that?
Uh-huh.
Dead. In this state that we live in, the man is basically dead. His spirit is crushed. He have egos and he participates in foolishness. His emotion is damaged. He's lustful. And he possesses anger and fear. His mind is handicapped, live in a state of rebellion, and always in a state of corruption. And his body has been abused as the darkness and his death. This man is dead. He walk around, you see him every day in the store. But you can't get him to be responsible for nothing. He's after women on the weekend, and he's lying, trying to get over on somebody. He's dead, man. He can no more bring a system of justice into fruition than a man in the moon, because he's dead. Now, when he becomes alive, here's what he looked like. He becomes a healthy man. His spirit, he possessed the Holy Spirit. That's why you got to know God. His emotions, love and the love of God. His mind, he tells the truth, and he have the mind of Christ. His body possessed the light, and his body becomes the temple of God. You see what I'm saying? So his church teach principle and so on.
Can I elaborate?
Yes.
You're right.
Yes.
You know, well,
Go ahead.
this right here is so very important because when you're full of God,
Mm-hmm.
you have magnetism.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
You know, you draw things to
Right.
all good things.
Yes. Yes, you do. Yes,
That's
you do.
very important. I just had to elaborate on that. Go
Yeah.
ahead, brother.
That's the healthy man. This man, he can establish an order. But we was talking in the car today, and we was listening to Reverend Sharpton, and Reverend Sharpton was asking somebody, I don't think he knew, well, what it's gonna look like when this virus is over. Well, look, I'm under Reverend Sharpton's auspices because I'm a member of NAM. He never asked me what it's gonna look like, and I teach it. So you see how dead we can be? We can look alive and be dead.
Well, let's
I ain't knocking that sound because I love him, he's my brother. But I'm saying we can look alive and still be dead.
Well, no, I understand that we have disagreements and differences.
Nah, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just calling
between
it
us.
dead.
I'm just speaking just on just how we endeavor to try to relate to one another as human beings, whether we're black to black, white to white, whatever the case may be. But the point I really want to make is I want to see the example of a governmental breakdown, visual illustration of how it exists currently in East Cleveland. I understand from the theological aspect, from the moral aspect, from the examples that you are showing, but I know, especially for the public, it's important for them to have a contrast between what East Cleveland, I don't mean anything theological, I mean what specifically East Cleveland looks like now. Like we got Mayor Brandon King, we got the council people, we got precinct people. How does East Cleveland visually look like now on a visual display like that? And I want to be able to, articulate and highlight the gaping holes and glaring deficiencies and the mismanagement of money and the uneducatedness of those who are elected officials, the whole 9 yards, so that the people who are watching understand from a truly informed standpoint how it looks like, what it looks like now, and what it could look like if we all got together and implemented the principles that we've been discussing here this past hour.
Well, let me tell you. Now, he's one.
Right.
He's a precinct boy, and he can't tell you what it looks like.
It would look like,
yeah.
it would.
What it looks like now.
It's chaotic. Ain't no look. It ain't had no shape.
It's the
Wow.
hardest job I ever had.
Are you serious?
It's the hardest job I ever had.
Wow.
Because they have working people has left the city. Okay? You can't run a city with poor people. Okay? You can't run, they don't pay taxes. They don't vote half the time.
Wow.
So you have to deal with that. You have to deal with what you got. You have to bring people back into that city. And you need conscious people, people who are professional. Okay? You have to convince them that we need an economic and a political stronghold. Okay?
Well, actually, it sounds like you need a revolution, or you need it's like
It's a change of thinking, though.
you know what you're describing. It almost sounds like you're describing a vehicle that was put together by parts from all over the city.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say, man, we got blacks who do it very well, okay? But they don't have an entrepreneur spirit. See, when you got an entrepreneur spirit, you look back at your brothers, you like say, that's a market, okay? When you're a black businessman, 95% of your customers are black. So you have to put them in a position to have money. So, I always look at it as a businessman, so I always look out for the community, for the people in the community, because a businessman have a voice. Can't nobody shut me up, or fire me, okay? So that's the same as a preacher. a businessman and the preacher on the same level. They can say things that's good for the public, and they can't get fired or ostracized or anything. So you have to bring that upper class back. And East Cleveland is it's beautiful there, man. Anything over 4 floors, you can see straight to the lake.
Right.
The
Right.
best view in the country.
Wow.
And you got the best park in the country. Our people suffer from high blood pressure and diabetes. You got the beautiful park. All you have to do is go walk half an hour in it every day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Man, I lost 40 pounds since I've been here in that park. I try to tell them, man, this is the most valuable land in the city. Don't let them trick you out of it.
Right.
Because they know what I'm telling you.
Now you know what an idea is coming up in my mind. I wanna have a visual map of East Cleveland that shows all of the streets and boundaries and all that make up East Cleveland. I want to have a visual, board sitting right there, whether it's electronic or whether it's on a screen or whether it's on carbon board like this, so that hypothetically you're a precinct captain and we could show what streets or what area within East Cleveland that you're a precinct captain of. And the reason why I want to begin to illustrate it like that, because we need to have a breakdown visually of what East Cleveland looks like, where the precinct captains are located in their specific boundaries and parameters within East Cleveland, and then begin looking at the underlying issues within each precinct captain's area. Does that make sense?
Yeah, really.
You know,
It's all common interest.
Yeah, but see, they don't even have that. See,
They don't even have it now.
You know, I was at a meeting one time. And I would say, man, you can't afford it. I mean, you can't afford to not have a city planner.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, well, we don't have enough money for a city planner. I said, well, then you planning on not being in business.
Wow.
And that's exactly what's happening.
So we can't even draw up East Cleveland on a map. We should be at least have a visual representation of what East Cleveland looks like.
But
And
let me tell you something, man. You are not going to draw up chaos. How do you draw it?
just having the physical map of East Cleveland, because it's so important visually that people understand the boundaries and the parameters, where East Cleveland begins and where it ends and what it encompasses, so that they can begin to look at East Cleveland precinct by precinct and then be like, oh, well, I live over here on Rosedale in East Cleveland, but I know that 8 blocks away down there on Noble, it's a whole different world. And so we need to be able to show these stark differences within these precincts and why they're occurring and what can be done.
At present, there is no stark difference.
Well, yeah, there is.
It's poor and poor.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's why a city planner is so important. Because what a city planner do, you have to set aside area for poor people. You got to set aside area for businesses. Okay, you have, and all these bring taxes. Your city planner show you where you gonna get tax money from to run the city.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How you gonna get it? You know, you have to have an area for industry.
Right.
You know, that's why a city planner is so important. But if you don't have a city planner, somebody else is planning your city.
Wow, and that's a hell of a point right there, because that's exactly what's happening. That's why they're trying to what are they trying to do? They're trying to actually morph East Cleveland or break it up and merge it with some of these other suburbs.
They just stole billions of dollars from black people by doing that, and they didn't compensate them. Okay, you have people with, say, house over here, worth $150,000. You only owe $75,000 on it.
Right.
So you got a plan to open up a small business. You can go to the bank and get a second mortgage, draw that equity out, and open up your business.
Right.
You got $75,000 to run the business. Okay, you don't have that option with bad government.
But
right.
let me tell y'all this. See, Bevel told me this. Reverend James Bevel told me. He said, Ernie, here's the problem. Here's the solution. The hell you doing way over there? Here's the problem. Do you understand the problem? And do you commit yourself to providing a solution? Well, why are y'all picking apples then?
Wow.
Get on the damn problem and work it.
Right.
And then see when Jesus said, turn the other cheek, a lot of folks don't understand what he meant. He meant, look, man, try this out.
Mm-hmm.
And if it don't work, go to something else.
Wow.
See, if it don't work, I started off not believing what the Bible said. I just thought, when it said do this, I did it. And then what I found out, damn, that works. It works. It's consistent with what he said. But you ain't gonna know it worked like everybody talking about, God do this, God do that. But how do you know?
Huh.
Until you put it into motion.
Yeah, work those principles.
And the problem with East Cleveland, let me tell you something, man. Them folks out there, they real sharp in getting out of work. You know, I'm telling you, shit, like that boy got up there. He's sharp in getting out of work, boy. You say, Zay, we need to move this over here and do this. Okay, you go back there and start. Next thing, Zay gonna ease up and go back to where I start watching that TV. And that's what people do. That's what people do. Rather than say, let's take one step at a time. Okay, for instance, like if I was precinct over there, I just see if I can organize 6 people. And then see if I can get them to agree. Let's meet once a week to talk about the interests of the people in the precinct. That's all this is to it. They ain't hard to do. And once you start meeting once a week, have a little something for them to eat. Once a week and start talking about them. Be organized now. Have your church meeting, then when you break from that government meeting, then you break from, be organized. And once you give these people assignment to go out and start doing, they will see their importance in the work that they do.
Right.
They will, once this get going, they won't let you stop. That's just how tenacious it is, because it's a righteous work. See, this work, God is in this work. They're going down, handing out bottles of beer. God ain't in that. But he's in this work. And once this get going, shit, I'm telling you, T, if you do this, but in a year, damn near half the world be at your door. Who is this little T? What is he doing down there? Half the world, not only with East Cleveland. If you do this and start saving the money, I think, getting the money from each one of these committees like you should for your precinct, hell, within a year, you have damn near as much money as the city.
Well,
but not for you, but for the precinct.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank all of you for tuning in. I am really appreciative that you all were willing to ride this out with us and stay engaged. This is what we have to do to really understand the process and really understand the operations behind the way of life that we are currently living or not living. And right now, our city, our state, our nation, is jacked up. And if we don't understand how to fix it from a grassroots level up,
I was just thinking about something.
man, I don't know what kind of worse off reality that we might be living through. But I want to give these two gentlemen, Ernest Harris, and again, brother, what's your name?
LATEEK.
How you say it?
LATEEK.
LATEEK. And precinct captain in East Cleveland. Did you want to add something before we? Sound like you had something that you wanted to.
Yeah. What happened the other day in Minnesota, and what happened all around the country, is because we're not organized.
Right.
We worked on principle like this. If somebody gets, if one of our children, our kids get hurt or get killed, and the city let them off, or the prosecutors let them off, we organize.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to shut the city down.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't spending no money.
Mm-hmm.
And that what the power structure hate, because they're all about money. It's not about God.
Hmm.
It's not about goodwill.
Right.
It's
about money. Right.
Okay? This virus that showed us. It's still going up, but they got to have money.
Right.
Okay?
So they will push us back out there.
Push you back out there. Long as now they say, white people ain't that. I drive down the street. I don't see no white folks in Hollywood with no mask on.
Right.
Because they done think that it's a black thing and a Hispanic thing, which is really outrageous. You know, but when you say, oh, blacks are suffering more, okay, well, let's open it up then. There ain't nobody but blacks and Hispanic dying.
But getting back to your point, if the police killed a boy in Cleveland, and we find that Twinsburg Police Department is more sensitive to black issues and have not killed anybody, then we go shopping in Twinsburg.
Yeah, out of that out of that city.
Go shopping.
See, you that's how you.
Kind to us.
That's power.
Right.
That's power.
You got to use your power. You can't sit around and yeah, man, I got it on camera. Man, you get him off me from my neck. Do what you got to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if that's my family member.
Right. Right. I'm not trying to
right
film.
there.
I'm trying to get you
right
up off my.
there.
Yeah.
I'm dying right there.
Right.
We don't have that. That's what attitude we had in the 60s.
Right.
70s.
That's why I say most black folks are scared.
That's why I said our problem was fear and jealousy.
And we don't have a language. And when something happens to us, we don't know how to talk about it.
Right. Well, once again, everybody, we are at the hour limit of this precinct government workshop discussion. And
one last word.
Okay.
One last word. Next week, I'm going to be talking about home and school.
Okay.
The institution of home and the institution of school.
Okay.
What they were supposed to do, and how we got to make them do what it is we want them to do.
Okay.
For our children. And the people that can't define their education, they can't not define. You can't define the circumference of your education, you will not determine the radius of your activity.
And I want to inject this into these workshops that we do. I think the way you're presenting it, highlighting it is in a most organized way. And since we are emphasizing organizational structure and cognitive thinking and planning and implementation of what we do, then I want to have a illustration of what the East Cleveland schools look like now, and then juxtapose that with what they could look like if we implemented many of these principles that we are discussing now in these workshops. I think that would be most effective for the audience. So once again, we have Ernie Harris, and you're on the radio every Saturday too, right?
Two of us.
Okay. And where are you guys on the radio at?
VoiceItRadio.com.
Okay. And that's every Saturday.
Juanita Gotti Show.
And
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock every Saturday, Voice It Radio, Ernie and
LATEEK SHABAZZ.
And do y'all cover precinct government, or do you cover?
Look all of it.
Okay.
We try to context the problem. I try to context the problem always back to precinct government, because there's nothing that go on in this world that can't be captured in these institutions.
Okay. So this is just another time that, as you all are watching out there, that you can also tune in to Ernie and LATEEK.
And I talk about economic issues.
Okay.
Business and economics.
Okay. And that's on Voice It Radio every Saturday at 7 o'clock. And
Reparation.
Yes. And so we thank all of you. Hey, Dee Dee. Hey, Gabriel. Thank you all for your engagement. Please share this live. And these are the kind of discussions that we have to have if we want to solve our own problems. And there's no other saviors coming to save us. We are our own saviors. So it is the God in us. So let's bring it out and heal our land. Thank y'all. And we will see y'all next week. Bye.
Was that live?
He was streaming one live, and then he was